guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. A spur of the moment video here, guys. We have got so much going on. Oh my goodness, we are canning today. So what you're hearing in the background is baby chirpy chirps, and we've got all of the jars going. What I've done is I've made vegetable soup. Guys, get your ball canning book out. It's very easy to make this, and I am telling you, in the dead of winter, when the power's out or you want something hot and you need to throw it in something on the wood stove, I'm telling you, homemade vegetable soup is the way to go. How I made this is what I'm going to do. I'm hoping I get at least 7 quarts here, so we'll figure out. I probably have more than that, but all that I have done here, folks, it's so crazy, simple, stupid, is the way that I cook my tomatoes down is the same exact way you've seen in my marinara crock pot. I take the tomatoes, I cut off any bad spots, I do a little coring, and I cut them in fours and I throw them in my crock pot. This was 2 7-quart crock pots worth of tomatoes, okay? Filled to the brim, cooked down. Once that got there, now you've seen me run all this if you want it really fine meshed, kind of like for like a marinara sauce. I put it in my food processor after it's done. It works up all of the skin, it works up the seeds, it works everything up just how I like it. For vegetable soups and salsas and things like that, hot tomatoes and things like that, I like chunky tomatoes, okay? So all I did is, and I'll show you we'll put a little clip in here, is I came over here and heated up my tomatoes. They were already hot. And I just ran the mixer with it. I just grabbed whatever tomato chunks I got, put the blender on it, not the blender, but the mixer part, the little mixers, and just mix. But I didn't want too much because, see, I want chunks. See all that? What else we have in here? I have corn that I had that was frozen. Put it in there. I had peas, put them in there. I had lima beans, put them in there. I had, see all the potatoes? Those are all those itty bitty cutie tootie little potatoes that you saw in my other video where I was pulling them up out of the ground. I said, don't get rid of those little babies. You will can them and use them for all sorts of things. Well, they're in here. I put them in my little slap choppy and chopped them down to make them more chunked like that, and there they are. If you remember some of my carrots, see all those big carrot chunks right there? Well, I lost them. Where'd he go? The carrot chunks in there, those big carrot chunks, that's from my own garden. There's one right on top right there. Whenever I get something that I know that will have a future possibility for something else, such as this, I simply put it in the freezer. You can can them separate and then put them in, that's fine. But I chose the frozen route because I don't want to make anything too mushy. So frozen vegetables work fantastic in all of this, okay? You see all that? A lot of this has been frozen. Some of it's fresh, like the potatoes were fresh, but some of it's frozen because I had plans for it. Threw it in here. I have salt and pepper to taste. I put a little bit of mixed seasonings in there, such as like oregano and basil, just a hint, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And guys, we're going to can it. It's just this simple. I'm going to let my jars process. I'm going to use wide mouth quart jars, and I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to process it just like you would any other soup, which is going to be, so I'm going to have to transition here in a minute. The All-American pressure canner. You need to pressure can your vegetable soup, not because of the tomatoes, but because of all the other vegetables. When you've got things like green beans and potatoes and corn, you got to pressure can that, guys, because it's not acidic enough. So this is the starting process. We're going to get our jars going. We're going to get the All-American canner rocking and a-rolling, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll verify my time. I think it's going to be 1 hour and 25 minutes. I may have to add a little bit more time if possible, because of my elevation up here on the mountain. So get your ball canning books out. Always look for your recipes and your times, and you just go for it. This is really simple to make. Let's get it going. All right, guys, before I put the canner onto this, I've already done a video also on this. This is a special canning element, okay? I purchased this. Yes, I've got a mess going on because we've been cooking and going and whatnot, but it's hot, so I wanted to show you this is a special canning element that you can buy. I got mine off of Amazon. It's higher, it's thicker, it's sturdier, and it heats up faster. If you're going to be canning inside the house on your stovetop, if you don't get something special, it will kill it. So even if I wipe this down and try to make it all shiny and cute, you would see all this discoloration around this area because this is where I can inside. And I'm telling you, Without this, you get all that up there. So we're gonna get this going. Let's move the canner over. All right, guys, hope you can see that. We have put right at 3 inches of water into the 921. That's the model number for the All-American canner. So we've got the grate or your plate down there. We've put in 3 inches of water. You're supposed to put in 2 to 3 inches. I'm going with 3. Next phase. All right, guys, so all I'm doing at this point, I have my hot, clean jars, and I am literally just filling them. I've got all my little supplies here. I've got my ladle going. Trying to not burn myself at the same time. And you're just going to keep it going. You're going to fill them up to a 1-inch headspace. Okay? So we're just going to keep filling them up, and then we'll be wiping them down. All right, guys, so what you're going to do is after you fill your jars, you're going to have to get the air bubbles out of the jars. So you're going to take your little doodad that is always in your canning kits, and you're just going to come in and press 2 or 3 times, just gently, from one side to the other, okay? Then you're going to wipe your rims with a clean cloth, a dampened cloth, or a paper towel, just like so. And I'm not left-handed when it comes to canning, so I'll do this again, and then you're just going to apply your lid right on top, okay? So make sure you're very diligent with all of this. This is very important to keep your rims very clean right after you go through and remove and pop up the air bubbles. All right, let's get going. All right, guys, we've got 7 quarts ready to go. When you get them ready to go, you need to clean the rims. I like to use paper towels. So you get a paper towel and you wet it, dampen it really good with really warm water, and then I just go around the rims, around the outside, the top. Make sure there's no residue before you put your lids on. My lids are soaking in really hot water right now, not boiling, but hot water. And I'm just going to plop them right on, as you've seen before, plop, and then I'm going to attach the ring. That's it, guys. I still have a bunch of soup left. So what I'm planning to do with this is I'm going to can 7 quarts in the canner today, or right now, and then I'm going to move to pints because the 921 over here, the All-American canner, can hold 7 quarts. But in terms of your pints, because you can stack them, I can do up to 19. Woo! So we're going to start with this, and I'm going to take you over to the canner in just a minute. Just want to take you along for the ride. All right, guys, so we've got the canner going on the stove. We've put the lubricant on the rim. If you don't know this, with the All-American canners, you apply your lubricant right here. In this case, I use Vaseline, petroleum jelly. You can use olive oil also. But so that's the awesome thing about this, is you don't have to worry about all those extra assets. Okay, so done that. Put this in here. We're going to put the lid on, pop them down, and get this puppy going. All right, guys, so what we did is we put the lid on, and then you turn these gaskets, the little knobs here, opposite of each other. Okay, hand tight with each other. And you're going to want to put the canner on a high heat, and you're going to want to let it rock and roll. You have to make sure that your rim, before you start that, is, all the way even around. You want to make sure that you've got, that's why they have you screw down the opposite ones at the same time to try to make sure that your seal is even all the way around. Now, so what we've got going here is it's on high heat and it's steaming. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got a good measure of steam coming out. Once that really gets going strong, you will set your timer for 10 minutes. Okay, and let that go and go and go. And then once you are done with the 10 minutes, that's when you're going to add your pressure. So this is the pressure gauge that comes with it. So for the vegetable soup, you will add 10 pounds of pressure. And at that point, you'll set your timer again for whatever time that it is. For you, standard would be 1 hour and 25 minutes. So that's what we've got going. You can see what time we are. So somewhere around 3:30ish or so, this should be done. You will then turn it off and let it cool and take it off the eye if possible. Don't lift it from the top. And you're going to want this whole thing to cool before you touch and do anything. So just to give you a little warning there. All right, veggie soup, let's rock and roll. guys. So we took the canner off of the heat. Actually, the timer went off. We turned off the eye. We let everything cool a little bit. Then we took the entire canner off of the heat, off of the eye, and I just let it sit, okay? It's still really hot, but it was cool, you know, not too hot to touch. So I took off the top, or the gadget, your doodager, your gadget, your pressure. Took that off, and of course there was no pressure. So once you have that, you're pretty well to go. So we've let it sit a little bit longer, and now we've taken off the whatchamacallit, like all my words today, the lid, and here is what we are looking like. It is still hot. You can still see, if I can get it over here, it's still boiling vegetables down in there. Not cabbage though, but anyway, so that's what we've done today. We're going to continue to let this sit and cool and let them seal. Oh, did you hear that? I'll be doggone. Already sealing. So nonetheless, everything turned out great. There is still some water in the bottom down there. I don't know if you can see it, but there is still some water down there. I did 3 inches of water. I put 3 inches of water in here, okay? So that's what we're looking like. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, be sure to subscribe. We love to have you, along with us for our ride here on our homesteading back to our roots here in Appalachia journey. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Whew, I'm tired, can you tell? Y'all take care out there, and we will talk to you soon.